Burkina Faso is at war not just with terrorists, but with the forces destabilizing West Africa. Under Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the fight against jihadists has taken a bold and aggressive turn. In recent years, Burkina Faso has launched several major military operations to dismantle jihadist and militia camps that have been terrorizing civilians across the country. One of the most powerful tools they've used? Turkish-made Bayraktar drones. These drones have been deployed to strike terrorist hideouts in remote regions, especially near the borders with Mali, Niger, and Benin. In the Park W region, which stretches into Benin and Niger, Burkina Faso's army has carried out repeated assaults on camps hidden deep in the forests. These areas were being used as jihadist training grounds and supply hubs. There was also Operation Bourgou 4, a joint mission with Mali, Niger, and French forces. In this campaign, they destroyed terrorist camps, seized weapons, and neutralized dozens of fighters hiding in border zones. But that's not all. In early 2025, a Rapid Intervention Battalion (BIR) unit conducted sweeps in the east near Diapaga, clearing several suspected jihadist camps after a deadly ambush. Captain Traoré's strategy has combined air power, special forces, and civilian defense volunteers (VDPs) to take back control of rural zones and eliminate terrorist bases. Here are several documented military operations where Burkina Faso's forces have targeted jihadist or militia camps and structures. 1. Escalation in airstrikes with Turkish drones. Since late 2022, under Ibrahim Traoré, the regime has deployed Bayraktar TB2 and Akinci drones to hunt jihadist groups across Burkina Faso. These drone strikes have been used repeatedly to hit jihadist camps, although they have also faced criticism for causing civilian casualties. 2. Operation Bourgou 4, November 1st to 17th, 2019. A coordinated G5 Sahel mission, including Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and French forces, struck jihadist hideouts in the Tafagala forest and Boulakessi area. They neutralized around 25 fighters, destroyed motorcycles and CUMs, and cleared multiple jihadist positions. 3. Park W region operations. Since at least 2016, Burkina Faso's military has repeatedly swept jihadist encampments in Park W, a transboundary nature reserve shared with Niger and Benin. These operations aimed to uproot militants who had taken refuge in remote forest hideouts. 4. Cross-border raids, for example, Operation Camus, May 2020. Burkina Faso joined its neighbors in raids across the Ivory Coast border. One mission reportedly destroyed a terrorist base, killed 8 jihadists, captured 38 suspects, and seized weapons and equipment. 5. Recent Rapid Battalion missions, 2024 early 2025. BIR No. 4 mission, February 2025. The 4th Rapid Intervention Battalion returned from eastern Burkina after securing supply routes and presumably targeting jihadist positions around Diapaga. Diapaga Sweep, March 2025. After a jihadist ambush that killed dozens, Burkina's army and civilian defense volunteers conducted a sweep of the area, likely targeting militant positions. 6. Targeted drone strike on Djibo military camp. In November 2023, during a jihadist assault on Djibo, government forces used a drone-launched missile strike to halt attackers attempting to breach the base. However, these operations haven't come without controversy. There have been accusations of civilian casualties during drone strikes and reports of human rights abuses during sweeps. But the government says these actions are necessary to restore order and protect the people. Has Captain Traoré succeeded in fighting jihadists? Achievements under Traoré. 1. Reclaiming territory. The government claims that areas once controlled by jihadist groups have been recovered, especially in the east and north. In 2023 and early 2024, military offensives backed by drones and special forces reportedly pushed militants out of several towns and forest bases. 2. Use of drones and technology. Traoré has heavily invested in Turkish Bayraktar drones and Russian helicopters, giving the army new precision strike capabilities. 3. Mobilizing civilians, VDPs. Over 50,000 civilian volunteers, called Volunteers for the Defense of the Homeland, VDP, have been trained and armed to help defend villages and roads. 4. Public confidence. initially. Many Burkinab saw Traoré as a fresh, Pan-African leader with a bold vision. He refused Western military bases and promised a sovereign security strategy. But the challenges remain. 1. Persistent attacks. Despite offensives, jihadist attacks continue, especially in rural provinces like Soum, Tapoa, and Yaga. Massacres and ambushes on military convoys still occur, sometimes weekly. Civilian casualties and human rights concerns. Reports from groups like Human Rights Watch and UN agencies accuse Burkinab forces of killing civilians during operations. In some cases, entire villages have been caught in the crossfire. 3. Humanitarian crisis. Over 2 million people have been displaced by the violence. Food, water, and access to health services remain limited in many areas. 4. No end in sight. Jihadist groups like Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam, Wal Muslimin, JNIM, and ISIS Sahel are still active in recruiting in Burkina and neighboring countries. Has Traoré succeeded? Partially. He has pushed back the jihadists in some areas and upgraded the army's capabilities. But the conflict is far from over, and lasting peace is still uncertain. Burkina Faso's war against terror is far from over. But one thing is clear: under Captain Traoré, the country is hitting back hard camp by camp, drone by drone,